guys. So, with about 2 weeks left till it's Halloween, Vanessa and I finally decided to put up the Predator of the Night here. I got to be honest with you, I was dreading this one a little bit. I saw a couple videos online of people putting this together, and it seemed like everybody kind of struggled with this one. It wasn't really that much different than our 12-foot skeleton Walter, but for some reason there were just areas where it was a lot more difficult than putting together the 12-foot skeleton. It felt like some of the pins where you would put the frame in and the pin would pop weren't popping. You really kind of had to some of these areas here. You really had to muscle it, and I was also kind of worried about trying to get him up and get him secured. Especially with that 12.5-foot wingspan, but he is up in front of our house, and he has stayed up so far. But yeah, this wasn't a fun build, if you will. Now, one good thing about Home Depot is not only do they give you instructions, but they do put the instructions on the box as well, which is really nice. And it wasn't, like I said, a difficult build. It was just there were some areas where it was kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. Now, I apologize here. We actually forgot to record the putting on the shin pieces. We actually messed those up and put those on backwards and had to go back and fix those. Like I said, we just ran into some issues here. The other thing that hindered us too is since we already have our fencing up, we couldn't, once we get to a certain point, they tell you to actually lay him down on the box. We couldn't actually do that because the fencing's there. So we kind of had to set him up where we wanted to put him, and then I had to kind of get on a ladder and do the rest. And I think that's what made this a little bit more difficult was instead of kind of laying him down and let gravity work in your favor, you're up on a ladder and you're trying to jiggle the wings or the arms in place and get them to lock in. This was one of those parts where I said it was just kind of a pain. Even though Vanessa was helping me and there were two of us, trying to get this torso on, they basically have two of those pin pop areas there that have to pop into the legs. It was a pain to get this to come on. I really had to kind of push the frame to get it to line up with the torso frame, and then once we kind of got it in place, you'll see here, I actually have to reach up and wrap my hand around the shoulder area and really yank down while trying not to break this to get this thing to kind of pop into place. This was one of those areas where it was the biggest pain. The other thing too is that you also, as you're trying to get the torso to lock into place, you also have to get the thigh pieces to line up to like the indentations and everything, and it wasn't fun. This part was definitely not fun. And here's like I was saying, I'm yanking on the top here, trying not to break this, trying to get this to kind of pop into place here. Probably, if you guys have this prop or decide to get this prop and put it together, definitely follow the instructions and lay it down in a box. I think it might be a little bit easier, but I'm not 100% sure. Now here with the arms, one of the things I was kind of, I guess I'll say, disappointed about was there's a pretty decent size space between the chest piece and the arm, and there's only one bolt that you can tighten. It's in the back, so you can tighten down the one in the back, but yet you can still see the front part, like the white of the front part where kind of the shoulder area where the arm goes on. I thought that kind of doesn't look great. And the other thing too is that even when you tighten the arms, they can still move. Like with our 12-foot skeleton, when you tighten the arm, it doesn't move. You kind of put it in place and that's it. Here we're getting we're putting in the bolt to do the tethering here. to kind of tether this whole thing down to the frame. This was actually easy. I saw a lot of people struggling with this part, but this part was actually the easiest part of the whole thing. So now here we start to put on the wings, and like I said, this is the part where, since we already had the fencing up, we kind of had to do it this way on a ladder. I would put it on the box and let gravity work in your favor. These wings are kind of have a little bit of weight to them, and then you kind of have to like get them in, and you kind of have to jiggle them in until the pin pops, and that was a real pain. And then also too, they have this plastic casing around it that you kind of have to push inside the hole in the back of the shoulder. This was not an easy task. And then the worst part of the whole thing is that behind it, to lock the wing in place, there's this tiny little screw, and you put the screw in, and then they do have a pre-drilled hole in there for you to be able to tighten the screw. However, it's at an angle. It's not like one for one. It's not straight up into the hole. It's on an angle. So basically, as you're tightening the screw, you're stripping it as you're doing it. And I hopefully maybe, I don't know if like in the future, if we keep putting this up every year, I might drill another hole in the back there so it's a little bit easier to tighten the screw. But that is definitely a flaw on Home Depot's part there, or whoever ended up manufacturing this product. But I will say though, when we got both wings on, the wings are really cool. They are made of like it's almost like a shower curtain material. But it's something that would be, I can't imagine would get like ripped up. It does seem like it'll be able to weather the elements outside. And then here Vanessa's trying to they have these little caps that you can put on his little butt, and we had a problem with those as well. Like I said, it wasn't an easy build. Again, have to apologize. Thought we were recording when we put the head on, but I guess we didn't. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. You just kind of put the head on this little tiny metal post, and then you tighten the screw in the back. And here we're just kind of adjusting the wings and adjusting the arms to get it where we want it. And that was pretty much it. So here he is right here, and I will say he is very physically imposing, especially where we have him in our house. He's right front and center in our house as you walk down our little pathway. And we even had a couple of kids come by today and we're like, ooh, I'm like saying, we're into it. Now, I am a little bit disappointed in, like you see here, some of the seams. You can really see some of the seams. It's not like a really tight fit, but you know what? It just kind of is what it is. So anyway, why don't we go ahead? I'm going to turn them on here for you. You can kind of see what it does, and I'll give you some nighttime as well.